YouTube, Unky Joe here, Unky Joe's Playhouse. Today, here with my partner in crime, Jerry, we're going to show you how to configure a FreePBX 14 on that HP Thin client. I said that I didn't say it couldn't be done, so we're going to not do it today. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, it makes sense to me, so if it doesn't make sense to the rest of you, the heck with you. Also, you notice I had a new title come up. We're experimenting with some things at Unky Joe's Playhouse, so you have to let me know if you like that new title or not. Not that I really care, but I just thought I'd get your opinion on it anyway. Anyway, without further ado, let's get the video started. Alright, so after installing FreePBX, the first thing we want to do is you need to know the IP address of the machine you're going to be logging on to, and of course you're told that after FreePBX installs. Unfortunately, on my previous video that screen was a bit blurry. You couldn't see it, but it was 5.71 was the IP address. So I'm going to go ahead and create a name of an admin user. I'm going to call it Adama, my favorite name. I'm going to enter my super secret password. And then I'm going to enter an email address to send alerts to. And click on Create Account. And I'm not going to save it. So now that we've created an account, we can log into the admin interface. So we'll click on FreePBX Administration, use that same account that we just created, and click on Continue. No, Firefox, I don't want you to save the password. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to need to activate your PBX, which we will come back and do here in a moment. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and skip through these lovely ads that Sangoma gives us to click through. We are getting this program for free, so we should send them something, right? No, not necessarily. Okay, so our sound prompt language is English, our system language is English, United States, and our time zone is America, Chicago. Go ahead and click on Submit. Alright, now normally I don't use the firewall on devices because we have an internal firewall to protect us, but for the sake of consistency, I'm going to go ahead and use the firewall that is built into Sangoma as well. So we're just going to follow through here. Okay, now it's telling us that our network, that our machine 5.30 should be marked as trusted, and it even tells you would normally select yes to this question, so we're going to tell it yes. And then now it's telling us that the network that we're using, the 192.168.5 network, isn't marked as trusted, and we should mark that as trusted as well. And then it warns us, please ensure that you're not inadvertently allowing unauthorized hosts to access to your machine. So we'll tell it yes. And we will enable the responsive firewall. Click yes there. And the other thing we need to do, I have a hard-coded or I have a public IP. So what this will do is it will set up NAT to auto-detect that external IP and configure the network for me automatically. So of course I want to tell it yes here as well. Okay, and now Firefox is warning us it has to resend information. And no, we're not going to use SipStation. We'll let FreePBX reload, and then we will click on Apply Config. So now what we've done is the basic configuration of FreePBX. Alright, the next thing I would like to handle is getting the name of this server changed. So the way we do that is go to Settings, go to Advanced Settings, and it warns you up here, use extreme caution when making changes. We're going to roll all the way down here, almost to the bottom. If I can find it, it's right above the time conditions, and that is system identity. And that's right here. So what we're going to do is type in the name that you want to identify yourself, or you want your system to identify. So we'll just call it the MCS VoIP server. We're going to go ahead and click on submit, and then apply. And if we come back to our dashboard, hopefully you will see that the name has now been changed. And it has, MCS VoIP server. It's just a handy way to keep, if you have multiple VoIP servers you're using, it's just kind of a handy way to keep track of everything. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is actually register the system with Sangoma. And the reason I do that is because we get some more advanced features under the system admin page. So if you come over here to admin, go to system admin, and go over here to the you'll see it right here. This machine is not activated. The free version of sysadmin is only available to activated machines. So we'll go ahead and click on activation. And it doesn't cost anything to activate, but you do need to create an account with Sangoma. I already have one created, so I'll use it to activate this machine. And you just follow the bouncing ball, the prompts. Would I like to activate? Surely. I would like to activate. And enter your email address. And enter your super secret password. And then go ahead and fill out the rest of the information here, and you'll click on continue. I'm going to go ahead and do that off screen, but it's fairly self-explanatory. Fill in this information so they have it correctly. So once you complete the previous screen and click on next, it'll ask you your location name. So I've just entered the main office here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on activate. And you'll see it gives me a deployment ID number and tells me it's installing. And now it tells me it is complete. And then I get the lovely Sangoma ads that I get to go through one more time. You can just skip through those. Now, the reason I go ahead and activate is you can see I've got quite a few more features in here. I can manage my DNS settings, my intrusion detection, network settings, which we're going to do next, my host name, notifications, power. So it gives you quite a few more options once you activate the unit. And there's no cost to activate, so I highly recommend you do that. Now the next thing I want to do is, and this is part of the reason I have you activate it, because it's really easy to come here now to network settings and to go ahead and enter your IP information here for your server. So I don't want to use DHCP, I want to use a static IP. So I'm going to change that to 5.100. It has my subnet mask in there correctly, and it has the gateway in there correctly. So the next thing I want to do is click on Save the Interface. Now it warns you, this will save and apply changes specified. Please note the misconfiguration could make your server inaccessible. So yes, I want to save and apply. Now, I don't know that it will automatically reconnect at the new IP address. If it doesn't, we can just type in the new IP up there in the browser window. But we'll give it a couple of minutes here to go ahead and save and apply the changes, and then we'll come back when something changes. Alright, so I did have to manually go out there and go to the IP address that I changed our server to, which is 5.100. So let's see if we can still log in. Okay, good. It looks like we were successful. Now the other thing I want to do is come down to admin and go back into system admin, and I want to go into DNS and make sure that is correct. And so it has our first DNS server as 5.1, and then it has our backup DNS servers as 8.8.8 and 8.8.4.4. So all is good with the world. And let's come back to the dashboard. Don't worry about any of these little errors over here. We're going to be fixing them here shortly. But there we go. Now we have our IP interface changed. Alright, now the next thing I like to do, you can choose to do this or not. But, and that is the CHAN SIP and the CHAN PJ SIP settings are set to, well, it's better I just show you. Come here under settings and go to, where is it? Asterisk SIP settings. Sorry about that. And if you look here under CHAN SIP settings, they have set that port number to 5160. I prefer CHAN SIP to be set at 5060 and for PJ SIP to be 5160. That's the old way they did it. That's the way I like to do it. But you can't just come in here and change this to port 5060, because if you come over here to CHAN PJ SIP, boy, say that 5 times, it's listed on port 5060. So what you need to do first is come over here to your CHAN SIP settings and set this to something like 5260 temporarily. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set that to 5260 and go ahead and click on submit. Now I do this before I set up my extensions, because it's easier to do this than it is to go back and have to fix all the extensions. And then what I'm going to come into is CHAN PJ SIP. Come down here and set that one to 5160, which should be available now. Click on submit. Okay, so now that's been successfully changed. So now we can come back to CHAN SIP and set this back to 5060. Click on submit, and then click on apply config. Come back to our dashboard. And bing bang boom, that part is completed. So the next thing I like to do is come into PuTTY and make a SSH connection to that server. So I've selected it here, and we'll go ahead and connect as root, and whatever root password you used. In my case, it's my super secret password. Now I've increased the size of my fonts so it's easier for y'all to see them here on the screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the asterisk console just to show you how to get into that real quick. It gives you some additional ability to monitor things and so forth. So all you have to do once you've puttied into your session is just type in asterisk space minus RVVV for triple verbose, and then hit enter. And so now you're actually into the current asterisk shell interface, or command line interface as I like to call it. And we'll be using this here as we move forward. I'll show you some of the settings there. So that's how you get into that net. The way to get out is just type exit, and you'll be back at the command prompt. Now I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen so you can see what we're doing here. I also like to use this method to update the system. So I'm going to show you how to do an upgrade, really simple, both on the modules for FreePBX and then how to do a system update, all from the command line. I just find that easier to do. It's pretty much all inclusive when it runs. So what you want to do is type in FW console and then a space and then MA space upgrade all, and then hit the enter key. And what that's going to do is it's going to go out and it's going to find all the updates to all of the FreePBX and Asterisk modules. It's going to do those, and when this is complete, then we will do an actual system update on the on FreePBX. So I'm going to let this run, and we'll come back when something changes. So as you can see here, that process probably took us about what do you say, 15-20 minutes it took. And keep in mind, this is running on that HP 610 thin client. So it looks like all the updates are done. I'm going to go ahead and clear the screen here, and the next thing we're going to do is actually do the updates for the operating system. So that's real simple as well. You type in yum space update -y, and what the -y does is it tells it yes to go ahead and accept the fact that there are downloads and you want to download them and install them. So we'll go ahead and hit the enter key here, and it will go out and it will look for the operating system updates, the underlying asterisk updates, etc. And you see there's about 200 meg of updates to do. So we'll let this run, and we'll come back when that is completed. Alright, so the yum updates are done now. So now let's go back to our FreePBX, and you notice we have an apply config in red up here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on apply config, and then it should reload everything. Give it a minute here. Okay, and then let's refresh. Now the other thing I like to do anytime I do a major update like this is to go ahead and reboot the phone system. So I'm going to come up here and log out and go back to the PuTTY terminal, and since it's a Linux based operating system, we just type in the shutdown command. This time we use a -R to reboot, and then we'll tell it now. So go ahead and enter that command. That'll just make sure everything gets cleared out and all the updates can be applied. So we'll come back when the machine comes back up. Alright, our machine is rebooted, so let's redo our session. Let's restart it. There we go. Log on as root, enter our super secretive password, and you notice here it's telling us there are still 55 system updates available, and also 42 PBX module updates available, and also 4 uninstalled modules. So I'm going to run that asterisk update command again just to make sure. So it's fw console MA, sorry about that, I guess everything hadn't started yet. Okay, let's clear the screen and start from scratch. Okay, fw console, then an MA upgrade all. Let's run that again. Let's see if there's any more updates out there. Now I think the lack of speed on this is due to that SSD to that flash drive. It's not one of the fastest flash drives out there, so it's a little bit slower than normal. Now it shows there's no more updates. I don't know why we're getting that update command. The other thing we're going to do is run yum update again, just to make sure we get all the updates. And there are no packages marked for updates, so we should be good. Now the next thing I like to do is activate intrusion detection. So you come here under admin, go to system. Oh, by the way, if you look at the screen now, all of our error messages have disappeared, so we've got all of our updates done. We'll come up here to admin, system admin, And we're going to go into intrusion detection. And I'm going to change some of these. I like to change them to the following settings. For the band time, I like to set that to 3600. The maximum retry to 3. And the find time we will set to 300. Pardon me. And then under the whitelist, I'm going to add our domain or subnet here. And I think we just enter it on a new line. And we'll enter it in CDR notation. I believe that is correct. Let's just verify that. Oh, the little whatchamacallit doesn't come up here. I wonder why that is. Okay, well, we'll have to report that as a bug, huh? I believe that's the correct setting. We're going to click on submit. So fail to ban will ignore, or intrusion detection I should say, will ignore anything on the whitelist and not ban it. And let's go ahead and click on restart. Okay, it looks like that worked. It hasn't kicked us out, so that's a nice thing. Now, if you do inadvertently change one of the firewall settings and lock yourself out of FreePBX, there's a way to get back into it. If you reboot FreePBX twice and try to log in, it's either 2 or 3 times. I'll verify this. If you reboot it 2 or 3 times, then it'll give you 5 minutes to come in with the default username and password to fix your mistake you did on the firewall. But that's how you enable intrusion detection. So there you go. That's going to end it. We're going to end this video right here. This is part 1 of our FreePBX 14 setup. And in the next episode, we'll cover the firewall, how to set up the firewall if you're inclined to use that within FreePBX. And we're also going to go over setting up our extensions and a VoIP trunk line, etc. So hope you come back and see that part of the video. I don't know whether it's going to be 2 or 3 parts. We'll just see how things go because this is a work in progress as I get this video posted. So we hope you found this video entertaining and informative, if nothing else. Make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Please leave your comments in the comments section. They're always welcome. And if you have any problems getting FreePBX set up, just rewind the video. And if you follow these steps, it should be pretty much trouble-free. But we'll be coming back soon with part 2. So don't forget, folks, come back and see us again, and that we will see you on the other side.